Hello everybody, and welcome back to Transistor. Those of you who are astute will automatically notice that I've got different abilities on my bar. Now, here's the thing. We'll go into the access point. Over the course of, between the last episodes and this one, I did what I said I was going to do, which was I beat the game. And this game, like Bastion, has a new game plus mode. It's called Recursion. So I have all of the abilities in the game, and in fact, it gives you extra ones. So now that I've been through the game once, I could really explain the heck out of this for those of you who are just picking it up. It'll help out a lot, right? I didn't figure this out until maybe like an hour in, and it's one of those things that once you know, the game actually becomes a lot better once you know how to play it. And it's unfortunate that the game kind of throws you in right away, but it lends itself to doing that because of the fact that the story is told that way. It's told from a perspective of, I have no idea what's going on and I want to learn more, so I'm going to keep playing to figure it out. And you gotta like invest in the game in order to actually get the most out of it. So let's talk about some of the skill stuff that we saw before. So we pretty much figured it out based on what we had previously. So let's remove crash and let me install it. So we had, our 4 functions that we can install. And then you could put, one of these as a buff. So, for instance, if I go back to here, you could see all 3 of them. You see active slot effect, upgrade slot effect, and passive slot effect. So if I have it as an active slot, it harms and disrupts nearby targets, exposing vulnerabilities. If I have it as an upgrade, it'll cause most functions, which are abilities, to stun and disrupt targets, which is really nice. And then if I have it as a passive slot, it'll gain damage resistance and immunity to all slowing effects, which is also quite good. So you put it in, like say I wanted to put it in there, that makes it my one ability, and then I could upgrade it with, say, Coal, which is a new ability. It strikes nearby targets upward with tremendous force. The upgrade slot will raise the kinetic impact or effective duration of most functions, and then the passive slot harm targets on contact while executing turn. So basically, if I walk through somebody while in the little pause mode, which is what turn is, it'll do damage to them. And it actually does quite a bit of damage. But we're going to put this as that, and you see here the effects it shows is down over here on the left. So crash will deal more damage and send targets flying upward, as opposed to this one, which it kind of does the exact same thing, right? But it would do different things on, like, Jaunt, which is my, teleport ability. So I'll put it in that, and you can see it increases max damage by 125%. So I'll install that. And then I really like Mask, which conceals the user's physical stealth, amplifying the next action taken. So I'll install that there too, which the upgrade effect increases backstab damage. Right? So I'm using these 2 abilities, which I was using at the beginning of the series, and then I'm using this one. So let's show you what that is. This is Flood, and if I go out of here, it shoots a little ball, like so, which is really cool, right? So let's go back to the access point. And it says that it projects a storm sphere that disintegrates targets in its path. It does a lot of damage, basically. It does damage over time the longer it touches them. Then the upgrade slot enhances most functions with lingering destructive effects, so it kind of puts a dot on them. And then the passive slot effect is regenerate life points when turn is not recovering. So basically, when the turn, when I have the game paused, that's what turn is. So when I'm not waiting for that to recover, when the bar on the top of my screen, when I pause the game, let's show you real quick. So if this is recovering, right? So when it's not recovering, when it's full like it is now, I'd regenerate health in the middle of combat, which is really good. But I was using tap, and then I died. And when you die, it doesn't take away a life or anything. It takes away abilities, which is really rough. It makes it very, very difficult as you go. However, tap basically is life steal, right? So as you do damage, you return life, and it's really nice. And that's as an upgrade slot. Okay, so that's some of the stuff I'm using. The upgrades I'm using on Flood are Ping, which basically is like a quick fire ability, and when I upgrade it, it just makes, when I'm using turn, it reduces the cost of that ability, so it reduces the cost of Flood by a pretty significant amount. And it just speeds up the cast time, right? And then the last thing I'm using on it is Purge, which gives this an effect that adds a dot. So my number 3 ability, when I use it, I can use it faster, it's cheaper, and when it hits an enemy, it applies a dot, right? Hopefully that makes sense. And then the last thing, let's remove install this again because it won't let me show you the passives. So the passives I'm using are Void, which move much farther in a single use of turns. When I pause it, I can move further, I can walk further. Bounce is actually, no, sorry, that was what this is. It's really hard to tell because here, let me do this. Install upgrade back. Will it hover over that? No. Okay, so as a passive, I increase base damage output of each of my abilities. So that's one of them. The other one is I gain a deflective shield that negates damage to the user. And the last thing is I draw on cells, which are the destroyed enemies from further away, which is really important. And the reason it is because of the limiters. So we kind of saw this in the last episode where limiters are basically Transistor's answer to what Bastion had, which were shrines, right? The shrine effects you would add in Bastion would increase the game's difficulty in weird ways. So it's like a dynamic way to increase difficulty. So for example, this one, actually let's go to a better run. So the process, the enemies, will spawn corrupted cells when terminated. So there'll be extra enemies when they die that I have to take care of. And what having these on get me is extra XP. So right now I have 5 limiters in use and it gets me a total of 14% extra XP, which is important. So you kind of have to go dynamically on what you feel like you can do. 5 is quite a bit, which is what I've got. And it's right now it's at that point where I feel like I'm challenged enough throughout the game that I can't make mistakes, and I really like that feeling. So the ones I'm using are the process. The enemies will strike with twice as much power, so basically they do 2 times the damage. The enemies also will sometimes spin twin cells, so the things that pop out and I have to collect in order for them not to respawn, they'll sometimes spawn 2 of those. Then there is the process will respawn from cells in much less time, so not only do they spawn 2 of them sometimes, but they also respawn way quicker, which is why having this passive here, which is get, is really nice because it draws in those cells quicker, right? Hopefully this is making sense. Then I have the user will no longer automatically activate turn at low health. Sometimes that would happen where you get at low health and it would activate an emergency turn for you, regardless if it was up or not. And you would be able to basically save yourself at the last minute with that. But I have that turned off, so that's not going to happen. And then there is the user will overload more functions at once and recover only once per access point. So if I die, it will overload a function. It'll delete an ability from my bar, and it will take more times. So let me explain that. If I die, and let's say crash goes off my bar, it'll take quite a few times of finding an access point, separate access points for that to regenerate. As you see here, this one has been destroyed and it's in the process of regenerating, right? Okay, so that's that. I have all of these unlocked, so I could use any one of them. Right now I'm going with 5. I'll probably add more as we go, which will make the series much more interesting to watch. When you're playing in recursive mode, which is what I am now, which is the New Game Plus, it basically adds all of the ability or all of the enemies from the game randomly, so you're not just facing the same enemies that you did the first time through all the way through. You know, like it slowly introduced some of the different enemies to me as we were doing it earlier. It's not going to do that anymore. What it does is it takes from all of the enemies in the game, and I have to kind of deal with what it gives me, which is really fun for me, and hopefully it's a little bit better to watch than what you would normally get. Because honestly, if you already have the game and you've played through it, then the story isn't going to show you much, right? The story in general is something that's really interesting, and we'll talk about that because I want to explain the ending when we get there, and I'll explain some things as we go when we get to them. But for the most part, you've probably already played through the game because it only takes about 6 to 7 hours to play through the game. So I want to make it more interesting, the series that is. So we're going to do it with more of the limiters as we go and all that fun stuff. Last thing that we need to explain is as you use abilities. So which one don't I? I don't think I have this one. Yeah, so you see the locks down here. Basically, you get more lore from these characters because all of these abilities are actual people, right? They're like the souls of people. So if I look at,
You've reached
this,
the hopefully not permanent address of Mr. Nobody.
this is the dude that's living in the Transistor, right? The guy who's talking to me. His stuff is corrupted, and we'll learn about that, and we'll read through that as we go. And which one was I? I was looking at this one. Now, I only have 2 of these. You can see in the bottom right, only 2 of them are unlocked. The way you unlock them is you have to use them in different slots in order to get them, right? The only one I need left is to use this on a passive slot. And if I have it as passive, so you recover more quickly after using turn, which is really good. So if I had this on a passive slot, which I did, or I was going to do previously before I lost this, then it would unlock that last piece of lore. So we'll go over the lore through, throughout the game because it's really important to the story and it's really important to having the end make sense. And then the very, very last thing is as you're playing through the second time, it gives you the option of picking up second ability. So I can put like crash on crash, you don't have, second amounts of abilities the first time around, but I do now that I'm going through the second time. Okay, let's actually go play.
Hope you're wearing comfortable shoes.
I am. Also, we're pretty close to a boss fight, and it's pretty difficult.
Here we are.
Mm-hmm. I got some coffee, too, so it's going to be a good episode. Also, I've gotten pretty good at the game. Oh, man, I've totally switched these around. Can I... Gosh, I'm just going to have to deal with that. I didn't know that I did... Crap. Can I go back real quick? Because I have muscle memory on those abilities. It's not going to let me go back. Okay, so what we'll do... We'll just reload real quick. At any time, if you're doing really bad, you could just hit retry like that. It'll send you straight back to your previous access point, which we need to do to flip these around. Perfect. Otherwise, I'm going to go nuts. There we go.
Wearing comfortable shoes.
We are. By the way, this one's going to be a slightly longer episode than what we're normally going to do because I had to explain all that stuff, and I didn't want to have that as most of an episode. Delicious coffee.
Hi. Where'd everybody go? Well, we're gonna get you out of here.
Oh, I don't know why subtitles are off.
Wiped him out. He's too far gone.
Okay, so he got killed by the enemies. General subtitles on. Oh, all this stuff is like really not where it's supposed to be. There we go. I wonder what was up with that. Wonder why I did that. Huh. Whoops, dang it. Probably because I hit that last time I was in the menu when I was playing on my own. Okay. We got it fixed. Fine. I can edit the sound in post, so all of that stuff wouldn't have sounded any different to you.
This lady again.
Okay. Oh, gosh. I hate these weeds. They heal the enemies. And the young lady we've already seen. Anytime I hit her, she tends to disappear. So let's do that. And we're going to launch our flood, which is that ball that we saw earlier. Let's launch a couple of them. Except I'm going to do it like that, so it's that creep. And then we are going to jump over here and shoot that guy. Ah, crap, wait, I need to back up. Hit that guy again. No, because he'll die because of the flood. Okay. Jump over here. And then we'll shoot this guy, and that should be enough. Dang, Rizzle. Okay. Oop. Okay, so we got the cells. Ooh, I'm already on half health. This is not good. There's a lot of enemies. Okay, we gotta take care of these creeps because they like to slow me. So let's backstab him with Crash. Then we'll hit him with Flood. The thing with my backstab is it's gonna knock him back. So I got to be, or with my Crash, it's gonna knock him back, so I gotta be kind of careful with that. Let's do one Crash a flood, another crash, and then we are going to jump off over here and take care of that. Oh yeah, I knocked him way away from that ball. Okay. Oop. Oop. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. That's not good. Oh, we just got to get out of here. That guy is already healed up, which is unfortunate. What do we have? Okay, there's a cheerleader, which is shielding that guy. Gosh, I really got to get rid of these things. Maybe that'll work. We'll find out. Kind of worked. Oh, keep going, keep going, keep going. Nice. Okay, I really need my ability to regenerate HP again. I probably should do that, jump through here. You can jump through walls with Jaunt, which is really nice. That guy's protected. Okay, so let's do this. The bat cell has a shield around it, so I have to hit it twice in order to hurt it. So I'm actually going to send 2 floods over there. I don't have to. And then I'm going to go back this direction. And the reason I didn't need to send 2 floods is because... Oop, no, go through the wall. Thank you. Okay, is because you can... 1 flood will continuously do damage. So we'll crash. We'll hit that with flood. We'll jaunt over here. I guess we'll flood. And that'll use up that turn, but at least I'll get rid of that cheerleader. Okay. Put that up. Oh, crap, he's protected. Whoop. Okay. Kill you. Hit you. Now that breach is probably a bad idea. I'll probably jaunt and just get away from him, I think is what I'll do. I'm gonna have to go back up over there, but the reason I did that was just so that young lady didn't kill me right away. Okay, so we'll do this. HP are you at? That is not a backstab. Okay, so is this a backstab? That is. We'll see if that works.
Still kicking it.
Oh, yeah, she went the other direction. Okay, get the cells. Hide, 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 and turn. Okay. Hit that weed, jump over here, shoot a thing that way, and we'll crash just in case. Okay, got a ton of those. Oop. Oh gosh, that one guy got me. Okay, so now I've lost my crash, which is not good. I do have flood though. I use flood a lot too. It's really good. If you have the right upgrades on it, it is really good. I'd actually have to use turn for that, but I did. Gosh, that sucks that I lost that crash. I won't have that for a while too. Okay, well, that creep actually has me a little worried. Yep, okay. Jump. And nope. I want to hit you. Just use so many of them. Actually, I probably should. Nope. Do jaunt over there. Okay, and pause it. We'll shoot, so that guy's dead. We'll get behind. We'll use this and a couple floods.
Shove off.
Oh, he almost got away. See, that dot on that thing is really nice. Okay, you guys need to go away. So here's a tip as well. You don't always have to use turn. You could do a lot of just the action combat stuff, but it's a bit more difficult and very situational.
I think I know where everyone went.
We're at level 15. It's actually not too bad. As far as achievements go, I don't know if this will pop up. We'll find out. If you could see it, see that I have 13 of the 33 achievements, and by the end of the playthrough, I want 33 achievements. So we'll be working on that. Okay, well, we need to replace that bottom one, but we do have tap back. And we still have that other crash, so we could put crash here. So we can install that. We can put tap back on that crash, which will heal us. And what can we do? What upgrades do I have available? Not a lot. I guess I could just put this one on there and do extra backstab damage, which is what I kind of had on it before. That should work.
Let's go to town.
Whoops, I didn't mean to click on that again. There we go. Actually, you know what? I'm going to switch something out. I'm going to remove that, and I'm going to install it as a passive, which will... Oh, no, that's not the one I want. I want, crap, which one was it? See, now I gotta figure it out. Faster. Crap, I don't remember which one it was that I was looking at, that I was like, that one would be awesome. Much further in a single use of turn. Raise. Actually, was this one? Inspect function. Yeah, we needed that one as a passive anyways. Sure, let's go with that. And that one's a passive already.
Seen his byline on the OVC. Covering up the camera on his tracks.
Actually, you know what? Let's...
Doing a good job.
Let's remove this. We're going to screw with her abilities a little bit. We're going to add that. And then we are going to add user stealth. Flood will very briefly render the target undetectable. Very briefly, for sure. I'm thinking maybe this backstab damage with the breach and the... I mean, it might work because you do extra blast damage, but for the most part... Actually, I don't even want breach on there. Do I? Just the area effect. Yeah, we want to remove that one anyways. Okay. And then we'll add this. Nope. This. So this will increase basically the damage of this. It actually adds extra projectiles. Do we want that, or do we want just straight up damage on it? I think straight up damage and blast radius. There we go. And then we'll add that to this. Okay. We'll try that and see how that goes. I actually really like using that stealth ability.
Let's have a look downstairs.
Which is the one that does extra backstab damage. Ooh, I have just found another one of these. Okay. Before we go down over there, there's a terminal that I want to check out first. Very good. Take a look at that. Which I think you get to... How do you get to that? Oh. Well, I guess that works.
Poll's a little out of date.
It's down to the final round of next month's headliner at the #1 venue in Cloudbank. The sensational Red First Downtown's Hottest Act. Okay, who will it be? Is it going to be me or this other person? I'm going to vote for this other person. Wow.
I never had a chance against the champ.
Sorry.
Let's get back to it.
Yeah, let's definitely get back to it. I just like stuck? I guess so. It's weird actually. I should mention that there's been a few little subtle changes between the first playthrough and this one. What's this?
You never missed a show.
Right, okay.
They left the lights on. The terminal. What's the good word?
Yeah, what is a good word?
Hey, you made headlines.
Okay, breaking. The popular Gold Walk open-air venue has been evacuated. News brief.
Not a word
At approximately...
about Camelot. Trying to keep everyone calm.
Yeah, at approximately 1:17 a.m. last night, after all scheduled live performances had ended, OVC received several independent reports of suspicious activity at the well-known concert pavilion. Authorities are evaluating reports that at least 2 people were critically injured, potentially including Red, the headlining act. More news as it develops. Still
Maybe
looking.
they'll post a correction.
Still trying. Still here for now, don't you worry.